Hello, welcome to a music painting workshop. I am Mandy. Today I'm going to demonstrate step by step how to use this workshop kit. Before we start, I would ask you to prepare a jar of clean water for cleaning the brushes later. Now, you can open this. Have a look what's in there. This is silk dye, a palette, one paintbrush, this is a color by number print. We're coming back to that later. This is your final silk painting sheet backed on paper. Here's a QR bar to find this tutorial. A very simple step-by-step guide for those who don't have internet access. So once I take everything out, I close the box again because I'm going to use it as a painting surface. Let's get the colors out. We're using full colors for this workshop. Before you paint, double check if you get everything. We have 211, the blue, in yellow, 749, red, 402, and black. So 4 colors in total. I'm going to cut the paper. Those two are used for reference. For this part, we use a reference. We use it for the background. We have a quick look of the color we need for the background. And on this part, I zoomed in the butterfly and put a number code inside of the design. It doesn't have the background. So now I'm ready. I'll use the silk paint to paint the corner of the silk sheet on the box. I'm only using one point to go through silk. I don't want the paint to cover too much area. Sometimes the dye cannot go through the area underneath the paint. And the silk paints will keep our painting surface flat, because when we start to paint, when the silk getting wet, sometimes the corner curves up.
So before I load color, my paintbrush is new and I will dip it into the water and soften the brush tip. When it's designed like this, I prefer to start by lighter colors. So here I'm going to start with a 749. When we paint on silk, we will find that we only need a small amount to cover quite a big area. And I'm going to use my testing sheet. The reason the testing sheet is there is so before you start to paint your final silk painting, you can get practice how to load your paintbrush on the silk sheet. This is a half-loaded paintbrush. You can see I only have color. The color only covered half of the tip. It's very easy to load it in half. That just means you dip your paintbrush half into the dye.
So now you have a go. Draw or paint something on this testing silk, just to see how silk reacts to the dyes.
When the color is not very complicated, I'd like to prepare all the color at once at the beginning. That because it's very difficult to tell which color is which. They all look very dark in the palette. So when the design is more complicated and I sometimes forget which one. Now I'm testing the red. Again, just try to load the different amount of the dye and see how it behaves on the silk. This is the background color because the background is quite a big area, so I'm going to put more out of the bottle. The last color is black next to the blue. I'm just demonstrating if I forget, if I confuse the blue one and the black one. Now it's a black one. Have you noticed every time when I change to a new color, I always wash my paintbrush? If we don't wash our paintbrush when we load the new color, we will end up with a muddy color. See, this is a fully loaded brush. Let's see, it's gonna cover a very big area. When we paint on silk, we tend not to move the paintbrush a lot. Most of the time, I just rest my paintbrush tip in the shape. So I like you to practice how to load your paintbrush because for a small area, like the small circle in this butterfly, we don't need a fully loaded brush because if it's too much dye in the brush, when we color in it, the color will run out from the shape, go to the next area. So I start to paint the top of the background. Are you painting your background now? So you probably notice silk is absorbing the dye from the paintbrush, and you don't need to move it so much, just let it spreading slowly, so it will make it even. I'm actually fast forward this part because the real speed is very, very slow. And now I finished the yellow part. I wash my paintbrush and dry it on the kitchen towel before I load other color. I'm going for the blue. If my paintbrush is full of dye, I will not put it right next to my butterfly shape, because I don't want to risk the blue go into the area supposed to be red. So when I go near to the shape, I just load a little bit of dye and then load a little bit more as I go. But when I do the edge or the big space, I will load more. Okay, so now let's have a look at the butterfly itself. We have two colors inside, black and red. And I'm going to check it with the color by number. For this design, maybe seems not necessary because the color are very simple. But when it's more color, sometimes it not sure which one is which. Some color very similar, so check the number will make it more clear. This is the real speed when I paint this black. When we paint on silk, we don't really need to move a lot. Most of the time, just tap the tip. And all you need to do is put your paintbrush down there and wait patiently until the silk absorbs all the dye. I forgot to paint the inside curve on the right side wing, so I stopped the video and put the glitter in there. If your design any parts or any lines missing, please contact me. I will send you another one. This is how to wash your paintbrush properly. Make sure all the hair in the brush is clean, not just the top. And then press it down to the kitchen towel to check if any color left. Now the last color is red.
Hey, thank you so much for joining today's workshop. I really appreciate your support. I hope you had some fun. It would be really cool if you can take a photo of your work and share it with me. I'd be really looking forward to see those. I also made a different video to show how to frame today's work into a classic frame, a double-sided frame, or a greeting card. Check it out if you need to. Thank you again. Take care. Bye for now.